Hi there, and welcome to my first YouTube channel. My name is Kat, and today I will be talking about my first semester at Wesleyan University. I hope this helps a lot of incoming freshmen who are trying to apply to college, and I also hope this helps any younger students who are just looking at videos on YouTube, which is what I mostly did when I was in high school, to try to prepare themselves towards the college experience, which is definitely a little different. No, okay. It can be very different if you come from a similar background that like I have. Let's get started. So, like I said before, and from the title, I am attending Wesleyan University. Sorry, I don't know why I got stuck. But yeah, I am attending Wesleyan University. That it is located in Connecticut, Middletown, Connecticut. Yes, where the heck is that? Okay, coming from California, Connecticut seems very far, doesn't it? Well, that is one of the other reasons I'm also making videos. I'm hoping that this helps any person who just wants to see how it is to live out of state and far from home, which is something we are not used to when we're in high school. So, to get started, the first thing I want to talk about today is move-in day. Oh, actually, no, cut that off. No. The first thing I want to talk about today is the airport. When I left, the first thing that happened was obviously me leaving through the airport to the airplane. Okay, you get it. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, there's a lot of tears. It was hard. I actually cried more than I thought I would. I have never experienced being so far away from my parents, and it was definitely a new experience, and I think that even though it was sad, it was still worth it. And so I will talk more about why it was worth it. Obviously, it was a great experience, and I do not regret attending Wesleyan University. So that is one of the reasons. But besides that, I'm gonna start by talking about move-in day. And so for move-in day for Wesleyan, it was, I think, late September, and then let me recall move-in day. Okay. So the first thing I was trying to figure out is how would my dorm look. I was hoping that it would be really big, or it could be really small, but at the same time, big is better. But the good thing was that I did get a big dorm and to share with my roommate, and that was a plus because I know that I packed so much stuff onto my luggage. I would say that I packed just enough. I know a lot of people say that they packed way too many things and they have to bring some stuff back, but I feel like I brought everything that I was looking to use and I'm sure I use everything. Besides that, let's go on with roommate. With my roommate, we had a Wes Admits page, which is basically like a Facebook page with every student that was accepted into Wesleyan University. And you are able to post your bio, some information if you want to be paired with a certain roommate, so request each other. And I know that for Wesleyan, if you don't do that, then they will pair you up with a complete stranger, which is something I was not so lenient towards. So then what I did was I just posted a small bio on the Facebook page, and happily got someone who asked if they could be my roommate, and we talked, and now we are happily roommates happily roommates. Okay, we are great roommates and I love her, and part of the reason is why because we both love K-pop, and of course that is something to look forward to, and did not disappoint. So shout out to Kathy for being my awesome roommate. I love her. And yeah, okay, so the second thing I want to talk about today, number 2, is academics. And coming from the background that I am, and let me explain this, I am Hispanic minority, and Hispanic minority, and I come from a public high school in South Los Angeles. Let's just say the academic rigor is, there is a giant gap. And so coming into Wesleyan and taking the courses that I was taking, I struggled a lot, and I struggled with all my courses, but mostly with one in particularly, and I felt that it was such a dramatic change in both workload and also just the speed at which everything is being taught, in which everything is expected from you to be learned, and the exams. Oh my gosh, I hate the exams. I'm not a good exam taker, test taker, whatever. And so I think one of the things I would definitely recommend for all incoming students and just younger students, whatever, it's just to take advantage of the resources available. It is something I regret I did not do. Well, I didn't do as early, because I did do it, but it was by the end of the course, and I believe that it actually helped me a lot. What I did was I went to one of the offices in which they can help you find a peer tutor, which is basically someone who has taken the course, the exact course you're struggling with, and has gotten an A on it, and they can help you with just the material and whatever type of help you need. And so once I received that help, I definitely saw some improvement throughout the course, by the end of the course, because I could have done it earlier, but I guess I just didn't. But so definitely take advantage of the resources and the help. It is there. I know it is hard, especially when you are coming in and you're one of the top students from your school. It is definitely hard to try and like ask for help from others, but in college you're gonna need it. So do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. I said that 3 times. Do not be afraid to ask for help. It is definitely one of the biggest things that's gonna help you reach whatever goals you're trying to achieve, and just have a better experience throughout in college. Yeah, networking also, which is part of it. But yeah, so definitely take advantage of the resources if you are struggling with an academic course. And yeah, besides that, I think that the next thing I want to talk about was social life. Yay, social life that I do not have as much in college. So in high school, I was definitely able to balance a lot of things, extracurriculars and also academics, obviously. But in college, this first semester, obviously decided to not take a lot of extracurriculars because my focus was to try to see how the academics were in college. Obviously, it was going to be something new to me, and so I wanted to keep my focus on that. And thank God I did, because it was the struggle. One of the groups I attended for the most of my semester that I was most committed to was the Christian group at Wesleyan, and also the Korean Association Club at Wesleyan. Let's see, what else? There's also a K-pop group that I'm hoping to join and be more committed to this next semester that is coming up. And let's see, what else? Yeah, I that's all I signed up for because, oh no, actually I signed up for a lot more during the club fair, but I only ended up committing to like those two things because, like I said before, I wanted to focus most on my academics, and I felt like that was the best choice to do, the best thing to do, and so, besides extracurriculars, another thing that social life incorporates is making friends. Yeah. And thankfully I also did not have much problem doing that. Most of my friends are international students and not Hispanics. One, because there's not a lot of Hispanics at Wesleyan. There is a couple. I'm gonna say there is a couple. I know several of them actually. Several from my year I know. And then there are just a lot of international students, and I enjoy learning about, I don't know, different cultures and languages, and that's just me. I love cultures and languages. So that's why I guess most of my students wow, most of my friends are international students. So so yeah, I didn't have much problem, especially because my roommate is an international student, and she had made friends during her orientation as she presented to me, and then I basically like became friends with them, and then all of a sudden we have a friend group, and yeah, and then I also made friends through my Christian group, and yeah, basically no problems with making friends for me. So yay with that, because I know a lot of people have some difficulty making friends when they first start college. You just have to, you know, talk to people and find that circle, that group of people that you honestly feel like you have, I don't know, you can connect with, and you have certain experiences that you like from each other and like to learn about, and yeah, and then stick to that, and I think you'll be fine, honestly. I don't think Wesleyan is in any way, has it ever made me feel excluded so far from this past semester, so I don't think that a lot of people have trouble making friends the first few days, the first few weeks. I made friends pretty quickly, and I feel very comfortable at Wesleyan. So next thing is parties. So I actually attended like 4 parties, I think, but not any more because I'd rather just stay. Honestly, you were just so tired by the end of Friday after class. It's just like you have no energy to go party, and so I mostly just stayed in my dorm during the weekends, watched movies with friends, and watched anime with friends, and yeah. There you go, my social life. Not so fun, I know. But yeah, I mean, you can honestly have a social life in college. It's just hard. But besides social life, I guess now I want to move on to just my personal experience being a Hispanic minority in a very Caucasian and Asian dominant environment. And so I think that one of the biggest changes was honestly just not seeing as much Hispanics around and African Americans around, just because in my house and in my school it was just dominated by that. And so I think that was one of the biggest differences, obviously, but I didn't feel like it affected me in a negative way. there's definitely more people that have more money than you, and there's gonna be more people who have had much different experiences from you. And I think another thing that I had trouble with when I first started was also just at the pace in which students, since I'm friend with most students, well, like I said, most of my students, most of my friends are international students, so they went to like really well, schools, and the speed at which they do academic work is much different from mine. I work at a much slower pace, and so it's just those small things like being more comfortable with the work you have to do in order to catch up. Because I'm telling you, my friends, we are right here while everyone else is right here, because we don't have that academic skill yet, but we definitely will be able to catch up slowly, but we will catch up. And so one advice I want to give to you is just stay strong and work hard, because that is what's gonna get you there. And so do not be afraid. Do not think that you are in that university by mistake. You were accepted and you were chosen because of the person you are, and because people believe in you, and because people believe that you can make a change and have potential. And so do not feel like in any way it was a mistake, that you were accepted there, or that you were out of place, because you are exactly where you are, no matter what university you go to. But it is very important to just keep telling that to yourself, because it is the truth. And sometimes we tend to forget it because we come from different background, a much poor background, and so we feel like we don't belong. But I'm telling you, you do belong. So just get that through your head and stop worrying about everything else. Just always do your best, always. I know I sound a little corny, but it is the truth. Do your best. Work hard. Anyways, last thing I want to talk about, sorry if this video is too long, is the change in environment. Like I said, coming from Los Angeles, California, going to Connecticut, so far, I know, but definitely I think one of the things is the weather. I left California because I am honestly not a big fan of the summer. I like more breezy, cold, maybe not winter. I will experience winter this spring, unfortunately, but I was able to experience fall for the first time in my life. It was beautiful. Do not regret it. It was so colorful. It was beautiful. Wesleyan looked beautiful. Okay, I said that too many times. I'm sorry. Okay, besides that, let's see. Did I miss my parents? Did I get homesick? I'm glad to say, well, I don't know. Okay, maybe that will sound wrong, but anyways, I did not miss my parents as much as I thought I would. Not in a bad way. I missed them, of course, but I think I was just too busy, or not too busy, but just I had too many things going on in my head about, the new experiences I was taking in. I was focusing on academics, focusing on building relationships, focused on just being more comfortable in the environment I was. And so I definitely called my parents every single day, because they're just that type of parents, close family. And so they would call me every day. I would call them every day. And it wasn't until like the last week, finals week was hell. But it was, sorry, video stopped recording, but it wasn't until the last week in which I was not calling them as much, but my mom would always check in, and so that always made me feel comfortable. And yeah, I didn't feel stressed about that in any way. The distance with my parents, if anything, it just made me feel more happy about being able to feel so excited about coming home when I lived in a tiny town called Middletown, and there wasn't a lot of things to do around, which is actually one of the reasons I picked Wesleyan, because I knew if I stayed in California there was going to be so many things to do here that I would get so distracted and not as focused on my academics. That is my reasoning. Of course, for many people it might be different, but yeah, so coming to Los Angeles for winter break right now is actually very refreshing, because I get to I guess somehow enjoy more, like relish more the time I am with my parents and with my family, and just it feels good. And I think it's a good thing to have, because that way you don't take it for granted. Yeah, and also, yeah, I think that is it, my friends. So, I think that for now, those are the small topics, like a few topics that I wanted to talk about my first semester of college. If there is any other topics that you would like for me to talk about during my experience, please leave it in the comments. I would be happy to make another video on my first semester of college before I start, which is gonna be in 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, and you would definitely see me struggling in the snow for the first time in my life. It snowed the first day I left, the day before I left Connecticut to come to Los Angeles. And I was so excited I went to make a snowman. But besides that, I definitely will be experiencing the snow for my first semester. I mean, for my second semester of college. And you get to see me struggle through the snow, and just I think it would be a good video. I mean, I think it would be a good thing to see for any students who are trying to apply to any East Coast schools, coming from West Coast, or just coming from a place that it doesn't snow. And I hope that helps a lot of students make their decision about where they want to apply or where they want to attend. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope that it really helped a lot of you. Thank you, keep watching, and subscribe.